want to quickly talk about building context through the warm-up. So the warm-up is, of course, to work on prepping the body for work, but it's also a great time to practice mobility or just getting feedback for how your body is feeling that way. But one way that we sometimes don't utilize it is to prep the body for movements and building context with it. So a lot of times, especially with my clients, if I'm working on a new movement, I'll put it in the warm-up, and then if they can master that, we can relate back to it in the programming. And so one of my favorite ways to do this, and a great example, is if I'm trying to teach my client or yourself a lateral lunge, like so, that can be very complicated in the beginning. But let's say in their warm-up, maybe we'll do some kneeling adductor mobility. So I'm sitting back. The great thing about this is if my client can do this comfortably, they're doing the pattern of a lateral lunge. The only thing is I have taken away my shin. So very, very similar pattern. So you can build context through that. Another one I like to do is using a back to wall shoulder flexion. So if I have my client set up back to wall, coming up overhead, the great thing about this is teaching the connectivity of the ribs to the hips. So if I'm trying to get somebody in a neutralist position, I can say, hey, remember how that felt your back in the wall shoulder flexion as you are doing movements such as squats, deadlifts, and so on. That's why we add a lot of planks into our warm-ups. So teaching that braced and neutralist position, because that will translate over to almost all the other movements that we are doing for the day. So don't underutilize using warm-ups to build context for yourself and for your clients.